Grandma, fruits and berries are just the spice of life.
Aren't they? And
They
you know
are.
what? Strawberries are so good for you.
Mm.
Y'all, I don't know if y'all remember or not. Good morning, I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry. I don't know if y'all remember when Shoneys, I used to call it Shoneys. And Jenny, my daughter, she said, Mom, it's not Shoneys, it's Shoneys. I said, okay, we'll call it Shoneys. So, but their strawberry pie, do y'all remember it? It was that and their hot fudge cake was always, I always loved going there. Didn't get to go real often, but I loved it. And one time I'd order the strawberry pie, and then one time the next time I'd order the hot fudge cake, and sometimes I go in and just get the dessert. But so that's what I'm going to make today. I have these strawberries in the fridge, and I said, you know what? It's been winter time. It's a little bit warmer here. It's going to be 70-something degrees today. So I'm going to make me and Roy just a really nice fruit pie. So I thought, you know what? I'll just show the people how I'm going to do it. So now in your Shoneys pie, they always put whole strawberries. Well, I don't do that. I'll cut my strawberries in half and then I'll quarter them because I never did like those big old strawberries. It's a beautiful pie and it makes a beautiful pie.
My mouth is big enough for them.
Well, mine isn't. So I half them, and these are beautiful strawberries. And I tasted one and they're really good. So I half them and then I cut them in quarters. And the recipe that I'm using, it's a copycat recipe for the Shoneys strawberry pie. So,
but you're not using sugar, right?
No, I'm using stevia. This is going to be sugar-free. Thank you, honey. Mm-hmm. I guess I do everything sugar-free so much I forget to say that it's sugar-free, or no sugar added. Not sugar-free because your strawberries have sugar. It's no sugar added, and that's what you look for. So I cut them in in half, then I cut them in quarters. And I want about 4 cups, and I'm getting the prettiest red ones. And I washed my strawberries really good. So I'm going to make the filling for it, and the filling has to cool. So while it's cooling, I'm going to show y'all how to make my gluten-free crust. It's going to be made out of... Now, if I get a small one, I'll just cut it in half like that. It's going to be made out of part almond flour, part gluten-free flour. If you're really low carb, make it all out of almond flour, and I have done that, and it's good. But Roy and I just watch our carbs. We do low carb load. So when I make a pie crust, especially one out of almond flour, I like to put about 1/4 of a cup of gluten-free flour in it, and that makes it bind and stick together better. So, all right, this is a 4-cup measuring cup right here, and I've almost got 4 cups done. So, and we're going to make our filling. We're going to go to the stovetop for that. So, all right. That's 4 cups of strawberries. So I'll just let them hang out there. And honey, if you want to come around here.
I'd rather eat strawberries.
No, they're really good. I'm going to taste some of them again. And if they are not quite as sweet as I want them, I'm going to sprinkle some stevia over them, and while my filling is cooling, then they will be they'll be marinating in that stevia a little bit, and it'll sweeten them up. I'm going to taste these again. I ate one earlier, and it was good, but some of them look a little green, so we're going to see. All right. Now, I'm turning my burner on medium-high. 1 cup of water. Now, this is the filling that goes over it. This is a 9-inch pie. All right, that's cold water. And to that cold water, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You always put cornstarch in cold water. Always. Get my little whisk here. I have whisk of all sizes. I have the little ones. I have these. I have some bigger ones. But when I'm doing just small stuff like this, I like to use my small ones. Okay? Now, I forgot to get my stevia out. It calls for 1.3 ounces of strawberry gelatin. Mine is sugar-free. If you're not sugar-free, use the regular. That's fine. But mine it's going to be sugar-free or no sugar added. It says sugar-free on it because the label is totally sugar-free. So, but some things will say no sugar added. So I'm just going to mix that in there, stir it up real good. And we're going to let this cook till it kind of thickens. But if y'all will give me just a minute, I've got to get my stevia out. And we'll be right back. Now the recipe calls for 2/3 or 3/4, I think 2/3 cups of sugar, but I'm putting a 1/2 cup of stevia in mine. If I need to add a little more, I will. But it's coming up to temp.
The old Shoney one was really a little too sweet.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought it was delicious. Okay. All right. All right. And I'll let Roy taste of my strawberries. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to let Roy taste of my strawberries, and I'm going to taste of this. It's beginning to get thick really quickly. And I'm going to put just a little bit of stevia, maybe 1/4 cup, over my strawberries, and let them sit while my filling is getting cool back here. I'll probably stick it in the freezer and let it cool.
This is one of my favorite things that Rose taught me. Is anytime you have any kind of fruit like berries or even watermelon or cantaloupe, anything that's fresh and it just doesn't have quite enough sugar, stevia gives it a fresh fruit taste. It doesn't taste like added sugar. It tastes like the plum is just sweeter on its own. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference in when you get something. If you bought a cantaloupe, for example, it just has a good cantaloupe flavor, but just isn't sweet enough. Boy, just sprinkle a little stevia. Stevia does it. It's a natural sweetener, and it tastes just like natural sugar on fresh fruits or cantaloupes.
Okay, y'all. As you can see, it's gotten thick, but I'm going to put just a little bit more water in it because I don't want it quite that thick. So that was maybe another 2 tablespoons. I'm going to turn my burner off. And as you can see about how thick it is. And that's how I want it. It's going to thicken up a little bit more as it cools. So I may add another little bit. So that was about 1 1/4 cups of water. 1 1/4 cups of water. Either add another 1/4 cup of water. Of course, I'll have the recipe in the description box. Or cut back a little bit on your cornstarch. Whichever. Alright, I'm going to take that off the burner. And I've got my strawberries in stevia.
Taste of one now.
Yeah, they're better. Alright. I'm going to get all my ingredients together for my crust and we'll be right back.
Hear ye, hear ye. Let there be order in the kitchen.
I've got my strawberry filling, cooling. I've got my strawberries in the refrigerator. Now we're going to make our crust. So I have got 1 cup of almond flour and a 1/4 cup of almond flour. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups, but I'm using a 1/4 cup of my gluten-free flour to kind of help bind it together. And that is 1 tablespoon of stevia. Okay, I'll mix all this together. And I've got a whole cup of butter melted here, but I don't think it'll take it all. Now, a lot of times if I'm doing like a chocolate pie or something like that, coconut, I will grind up some pecans really, really fine. And what's really good is the praline pecans that I put on. They are delicious ground up in here. And I put it as part of the crust, but since this is strawberry, we're just doing plain. All right. Now, I have buttered my pie dish really well. So we'll just put a little bit at a time till we see about how much we think it's going to take. And that was about 1/2 stick that I just put in here, which may be enough. Looks like it might. I want enough to make it stick together. Okay. All right, I think I may put just a little bit more, maybe a tablespoon more in there. Yeah, that looks more like it. Now, you do this kind of like you do a graham cracker crust. You just put your almond flour and a little bit of gluten-free flour. Now, you don't have to use the gluten-free flour. I just prefer it because it makes my almond flour stick together better, and I just like it in a crust better. But if you're totally low carb, do not put it in there. Okay, so I'm just going to press this out. Now I've got my oven set on 350 degrees, and I'm going to cook this for 8 minutes.
Well, now, if they're low carb, it would work. But if they're no carb, you wouldn't want to do it because this is not a high carb dish.
It's not, but if I was doing really low carb, I would not use the gluten-free flour.
Okay.
So I would only use the almond flour.
All right.
Now you can use some coconut flour too, if you want to, but the almond flour just seems to work better. And the almond flour, coconut flour absorbs liquid a lot faster than your almond flour does. So I'm really careful in how I use coconut flour. If you use coconut flour, you're going to have to use more liquid. So, all right, and you're just pressing this up against the sides. You just kind of work with it like if you were making a graham cracker crust. And this is a big pie thing. I should have got one of my smaller ones, I guess, but I'll make it work. And I got more on one side than I do the other. This one is deeper. I think it's the same size around, it's just deeper. So I'm just going to keep working this up the sides like that. I think one side's a little bit higher than the other one, but that's all right. It's just for me and Roy. Okay. The bottom is really what I want kind of thin.
Yeah, so for all of our close neighbors that might see this, we're going to put the closed sign out for about 3 days. So don't just come for strawberry pie. It won't be here.
All right, I'm going to take a little bit from here and bring over here. Okay. All right. Okay. Next time I make it in this deep one, I'll put more almond flour in it, but that's okay. All right. Now, I'm going to bake this in a 350-degree oven for 8 minutes. So see y'all back then.
It's Christmas in February when I can get a strawberry pie.
Okay, y'all. Now, since I cut my strawberries, what I'm doing, I'm turning them over. So all that pretty red is on top. Because you want it to look more like Shoneys. And theirs was just, oh, theirs was beautiful. So I'm just turning my strawberries over to where the red is on top. Now, this is my filling that I made that y'all saw me make to go in it. So I'm just pouring this over it. Now, this is going to have to sit in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. So this filling really, it's cool, but it needs to gel. So, okay. We like a lot of filling. I know Shoneys wasn't, it was clear, but it was only made with gelatin. It didn't have the, I don't think it had the jello in it. So it was only made with clear gelatin. So it was clear. All you saw was strawberries. But this is the next best thing. All right. Now, if you want more strawberries, and I've got some left here, you can cut them and put them right on top, but not for us. But I am going to make it pretty. So this is just 0 sugar Cool Whip. So I am making little stars around it like this. You can decorate yours any way you want. I think I'm going to put a few more just because it's pretty. All right. You can cover the whole thing in Cool Whip if you want to. Or you can just try to make it pretty like I'm doing mine. Ever how you want to do yours. Or you can leave it plain, and before you serve it, when you cut it, you can put your Cool Whip on it. So wow. This is my strawberry pie, fresh strawberry pie, no sugar added, gluten-free. So this is going to have to sit in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. So this can really get cold, and it can just, it'll be easy to cut out. I got Cool Whip everywhere. So it'll be easy to cut out.
Now we get to eat some of this on our low carb low diet.
Yes, we do. So, but I wanted to show y'all this morning how I made my fresh strawberry pie. So since it's got to cool for a couple hours, I may come back and show you what it looks like and taste of it, but I may not. I may just end the video here. I'm going to go ahead and end it. So food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Put deliciousness back in your healthy food. And I'm telling you, this is delicious. So please share this video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see y'all next time.